A very beautiful good morning to everybody. It's been snowing. We've had a little bit, we've had a little bit of sunshine. I thought we had some sunshine there. But we've had snow. And it's quite cold. Typical spring. Can never quite make its mind up. In and out. To and fro, like a giddy dancer. You can just see some of the snow still on the leaves over there near the ground. But look, you can also see, let me just zoom in a little bit on this, the incredibly beautiful blossom on my cherry tree. Now this is the fabulous cherry tree. Yes, and it brings forth cherries that I brought from London 15 years ago in a little coffee cup. Imagine that. Isn't that beautiful? So masses of blossom. The bees are having a field day. Got to top up the bird feeders this morning now because I think today will be a bit of a hungry day for the birds. So I'll just grab my coffee here in the porch. I've got to move two little snails from up there. I'll tell you the story of those little snails. They managed to get in here back in December, I think it was, November? Maybe it was November. They managed to get in here and put themselves up there to overwinter in Bealtaine Cottage. So they may become a wee bit dried out, in which case they're finding it difficult to move. So I'm going to move them today and put them out, and hopefully they'll be alright. Because of course, you know my feelings on all living things. If Mother Earth has put them here, she's put them here for a reason. And it's not up to me to go killing them. There's enough killing goes on in this world. There's a little watercolour that I painted years and years ago when I dabbled in watercolours. I just love colour. So, here we go. Still drizzling a wee bit. I don't want to get water on the lens. And just see, look, some of the snow. See the icy bits there on the leaves. No, I might just venture out and see. A wee bit of drizzle, not too bad. Oh look, there's snow down there around the contorted hazel. So I was incredibly busy yesterday, didn't even get time to make a video of any sorts. Oh, snow on the car. I moved 3 loads of stuff to the Civic Amenity site, which is the recycling centre in my local town of Boyle. And I've got some more left. I'll just show you. So, there was a massive amount of stuff here yesterday. I just folded down the back seats of the car and just loaded it all in. So I've got some more now. You can see there's a mixture of metal and plastic. So that'll be going off to the Civic Amenity site. I think possibly today. More than likely it'll be tomorrow now, because I've got a lot to do around the land here today. There's the boy. Come on, you. That's it. So there's a sun and a very kind of a milky sky, and you can see the birds there with the backdrop of the snow-covered roof. So, there's a little bit of weak sunshine, that's not too bad. Got clothes hanging up there in the barn, drying. So I've got, I suppose, the bulk of the work done over by the tunnel now, in clearing that site. So I'm quite happy with what I've managed to achieve thus far. There's snow on top of the mulch. Fortunately at this time of year, I mean the temperatures will drop a bit, but there's nothing too severe. So look at this. Huge clearance. Still looks a bit untidy obviously because I've still got bits and pieces to clear and bring over to the driveway, you know, because that's stuff that I'll be moving. But I've got to get it cleaned up and packed up because you can't take anything that's, you know, covered in soil and whatever to the recycling. It all has to be fairly clean. So I'd say there's probably another 10 to 15% of clearing up to do here. And then there'll be sort of realigning the site. I'm sort of torn between putting another compost heap in there or even just planting that little bit out. Maybe putting some shrubs in there. I'm not sure. I'm going to just let that sort of filter in. I'm going to absorb that. But I'm just so pleased with myself that I've managed to get that massive amount of work done. There, it's beginning to brighten up. There's two very wet looking crows sat on top of the ash tree over there. They're just huddled in. I think they're either courting or nesting or... There we go, look, you can just see all this brightness starting. And there's some beautiful blue sky up there, just on the hill. Of course, because all this is north-facing land and there's a hill to the south, it can be some time before we get the sunlight properly, but it's filtering through. The weather never stays in one place for long, that's for sure anyway. So, just pop into the tunnel here. You can see the snow on the outside. But again, it hasn't affected anything in here. This is always interesting. All my roses start off with what I call a little dusting of greenfly. And I never do anything about that at all. I just let it be. Because normally within about a week or 10 days, the greenfly is all gone. All been eaten by all the little creatures that eat it, that need it. So look at the Aquilegia. We're looking at flowers very soon. They'll be opening up quite shortly. And there's some beautiful daisies opened up down there. And the chives are thriving. They're going to be opening up quite soon. There's just going to be one mass of white flowers on this clematis. Look at this. It's gone a bit crazy this year. I think it was the extra boost of nitrogen that it got just before the winter set in, when I put down a fair bit of compost. So that helped set the flowers then for this year, set the buds. Just walk up this way and have a little look at my little woodland spot. Some nice sacrilege coming up there on this side of the stones. Oh, there's a wee fern, look. Yeah, the honeysuckle's doing well. And the clematis. There's some honesty coming up around the base of the clematis. And this is another Dicentra spectabilis that I put in years ago. Seemed to disappear there, but it's come back up. I must ensure I get some water up to this side of the tunnel, because there's the grapevine budding up well. Jack stood there listening, full of intent. And the carrots are continuing to show themselves. Look how healthy this honeysuckle is. Beautifully healthy. Hopefully there'll be flowers on it this year. We'll get that gorgeous scent. So you can just see on the plum tree there, now set against that dark sky, you can just see the level of blossom that's on it. I think this is going to be a very, very good year for fruit. Hard fruit and soft fruit. Look at all the colour. I've been asked before, especially on Facebook, what design I used here, permaculture design. Lots of questions like that about permaculture. And I can say that within the first, say, 8 years, I was only thinking inside that permaculture framework, and then it was about 7 years ago or so that the evolution into goddess permaculture happened. It happened pretty quickly because I became aware that permaculture, like horticulture, like so much of how we interact with Mother Earth, was kind of based upon our own needs as opposed to her needs. And I say her with a capital H. So it was from that perspective of her needs that goddess permaculture evolved. And so it's very much now she comes first, capital S there, she comes first, my needs, the needs of humankind come second. Because you see, we've got the whole thing the wrong way round. We have continually put our needs at the forefront and then become confused as to why the system that supports our needs underneath us, so to speak, has started to fail. So, the wrong way round. So by putting her first and me second, it's evolved to this, to goddess permaculture. So when people ask me what is Goddess Permaculture, there you have it in a very simple way. But I would encourage people to see what Goddess Permaculture is. Have a look. That's why I'm pointing away from me and towards her. Because when you see it, hopefully you begin to understand it. It's got very dark again now. So I'm not going to stay outdoors for long because I think we're going to have some more rain. And the water barrel's filled again. It's dripping down. But I have a little channel here in the gravel. Flows round this way and off down there into the woodland garden. So everything that you see through this lens is Goddess Permaculture. Now there's something I have to do. I've got to get up there and clean out that gutter because it's leaking. Always quite a lot of maintenance to be getting on with here. There we go. See some water on the lens. So, blessings to you all. I should be working hard today. And here comes Jack. His head down, looking a bit wet. So I'll be working today outdoors as and when I can get out there and clear up the rest of the site over by the tunnel. So don't forget to have a look underneath this video if you're interested in purchasing a book from Bealtaine Cottage or a link to the website. I'm also going to make sure there's a link there to the Twitter account and to the Facebook account as well. I'm keeping Facebook going because there are quite a few people who declare such an enjoyment of that site. But it just means occasionally I have to go on there and sort of update it and put little photographs and videos and stuff on, but there's no loss in that. I actually quite enjoy doing it. So, blessings to you all.